From my point of view, students who struggle with anxiety and depression can find a particularly strong sense of support from social media community.
No. Social media sets a beauty standard.
Did you just interrupt me?
Yes, I'm making a point here.
Well, then let me finish mine.
No, social media, hear me out, okay? Social media...
Hear me out first.
Social media causes depression.
This is silly. You're silly.
What about cyberbullying?
Well, let me finish my argument so you can read yours.
Your argument is not good.
It's
not right.
Who told you yours are?
Because cyberbullying, are you really going to argue with that?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Teenagers have depression and anxiety.
Yes,
they can find help on social media.
Cyberbullying.
Oh my, can you let me finish
my
argument? Then you can no.
Well, that was quite a rough dialogue between the two, don't you think? More like a fight than a real debate. I'd like to welcome you all to our debate session. In this session, we will talk about the style of debating, what we can do to communicate well in a debate, and in fact, proper communication is the foundation of every good debate. My name is Michelle. I'm going to be your English teacher for today. So let's start out with our debate rules. Well, debate is more or less like a sport. Do you like sports, guys?
Yes. Me too. I like football.
Well, good. So, if you like sports, you will like debates. Like in many kinds of sports, in debates, we have two teams, okay? And like in football or in basketball, we also have rules. What's the Arabic word for rules?
Qawanin.
Good job. Okay, so, give me one rule, Layla, in football that we have. What's forbidden in football?
We're not allowed to touch the ball with our hands.
Okay, that's one rule. Okay, can you kick a person?
No.
You only kick the ball. Okay, so, in debate, we have a few rules, very similar to football, very similar to other kinds of sports. These are no different. You're not alone on the pitch, okay? There's another team whom we have to respect upon everything. Rules help in this. Our first rule is both teams take their roles alternately, one after the other.
Yes, miss, I think it's a helpful idea.
Okay, very good. Rule number 2, no interruptions allowed whatsoever. Do not interrupt the other.
Well, that was what was happening between us a few minutes ago.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm glad you're getting the hang of it. This is what happened, as she said, in the small debate we had a few minutes ago. Sometimes feelings take over us when we are debating. This creates a bit of a negative atmosphere, and we don't want that, okay? Sports is about feeling good, expressing yourself in a good way, and that's what we want in our debate. Now we're moving to rule number 3, don't put others down.
Yes, I didn't like how they talk to each other. I'd rather not call names.
Okay, very good. I like that. And do you know what the golden rule is? Any idea of what the golden rule is? Treat the other in a way of how you yourself want to be treated by others. Tell me, how do you want to be treated?
With respect.
Good job. So, that's the most important thing in debating. The other part is not our enemy, it's our opponent. Okay? Keep that in mind, and let's kickstart our debate.
Thank you.
So the first topic of our debating session is going to be about the effects of social media on teenagers today.
Hello ladies and gentlemen. In these days, technology is more than just an important part of our life. Now you cannot convince me that you can spend a whole day without using your phone, laptop or iPad. My name is Sama Ghayeb. My teammates are Lamar Jubran, Isabella Spitani and Serena Akrush. We believe that social media does have a positive effect on students.
Dear future changers, in this day and age, it is social media that makes the world go round. What is a normal student day without Instagram, Facebook or Snapchat? And honestly, how many times do we tend to refresh our feeds and inbox in order to not miss a single notification? Indeed, these platforms have become an integral part of our daily lives. Yet the question that arises is, are social media platforms actually a curse or a blessing? Today, my team, Jub Taha, Malak Maali, Julie Gneem, and I, Sabahul, will illustrate the negative effects these social media platforms have on our daily lives as students.
Here are our arguments. Hope we can entertain you.
In our opinion, social media does have a positive effect on students, as it helps enhance their creative skills and creates peer motivation to reveal hidden talents, and provides young students to speak up by using their voice to share their opinion.
We think that social media can have many negative effects on students, and one of them is that it causes distraction. These days, students tend to lose their focus from studying and rather enjoy browsing on social media. All this leads to wastage of time and not learning anything from it. For example, most of the time students are incapable of submitting their work on time because they are more focused in using social media.
Well, that's a good point. But from our point of view, students who struggle with anxiety and depression can find a particularly strong sense of support from social media communities. For example, this past year has been extremely difficult with the COVID-19 pandemic. That's the only way students could feel positive is by watching dance videos, making and sharing memes and videos.
We see, but on the other hand, social media and mobile devices may lead to psychological as well as physical effects. Physical effects such as eye strain, bad posture, and lack of concentration. However, it also has mental conditions such as depression and anxiety. Prioritizing social media also may result to self-isolation, which can make you feel lonely and hasn't.
In conclusion, we still think that social media has a positive effect on students because it's more convenient and easier for students to provide information and communicate via social media when they're not able to in person.
This debate had some good arguments. Thank you for understanding and being respectful to our decision, but we still think and believe that in our position that students have a negative effect on social media and all the platforms.
You and your generation have all the new facilities, new technologies, and social media, which the generations before did not have. And to our second topic today, do you think this impacts your generation more positively or more negatively as compared to the previous generations?
Hello to all of you dear people. As you all know, social media plays a huge role in our daily life, especially Gen Z kids and teens. Social media can be useful in several things, but the question really is if social media is a negative or a positive thing for this generation, and if it has a good or a bad impact on them. My team and I, me, Layla, Taleen, Zain, and Sally, prepared a list of negative impacts that social media has on our generation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Zaina, and my teammates are Divana and Hala and Salma. Social media take a huge part of our life these days. We're going to discuss how.
In our opinion, the use of social media for a long time can cause a lack of social interactions which cause mental health problems. For example, anxiety that is also a symptom of ADHD.
It actually raises social interactions. People feel more comfortable talking on the internet where people don't know each other, rather than people they know personally.
We see your point, but social media can affect our brains and have a negative impact on the way we think. We use our brains less because we have everything ready right in front of us.
We see your point, but we can also become smarter because we can learn a lot of information on the internet that are not usually taught in school.
In conclusion, we still think that social media has a negative impact on our generation, and we hope we convinced you to stand by our side and understand our point of view.
It was a lovely debate. Thank you for respecting us. You weren't able to converse us, but we respect your point. Thank you.
In debating, we don't have enemies, we're all opponents. And for that, let's all shake hands.